Some people think Christmas vacation is the best time of the year. Other people love summer vacations. And in Vector, many of us eagerly look forward to SC2 Push every year. But truly, the greatest time of the year is right now. Yes, it's March Madness, and it's time for our 23rd annual Vector Marketing Corporation March Madness Maniacs College Basketball Pool. We have Jim McGowan, last year's champion, who will be back in once again. He won it all last year, taking home over $1,200 for first place. It's $40 to enter. Last year, Duke won the championship. They were number one. I'd like to thank Miguel Lopez for sending me a hat. We do pay the Elite 8 entries at the end of the pool, by the way. And I'm also instituting this year the Having Your Act Together bonus, or the HYA bonus, which you get for doing two things. This is what having your act together means. Number one, you pay promptly for your pool entry. And number two, you have the best picks in the first weekend of the pool. So the second round leader after Sunday who has paid promptly for their pool will win the first payout of the pool. Usually it's about $200 or so. Now what this means is if I receive your electronic payment by Friday or your check in the mail by Saturday, you're eligible for this bonus. The leader after Sunday's second round games wins. And by the way, note that the NCAA has come around and called it the second round. Of course, I never stopped calling it the second round over these last few years of the NCAA trying to corrupt the system and call the Tuesday, Wednesday games, even though there's only 4 of them, the first round. And then the second round would be most teams' first game. And then the Saturday, Sunday games were stupidly called the third round, which is lame. But of course, I knew better, and no longer is that the case with the NCAA. It is now the second round. So I am not responsible for slow mail. I'm not responsible for idiots who cannot find their smartphone or cannot find an envelope and a stamp and their checkbook. So please make sure you pay promptly if you wish to be eligible for the HYAT, Having Your Act Together bonus. Entries, by the way, are due by the first tip-off of Thursday morning's game. So the Tuesday, Wednesday games are not relevant for our pool. You can pay with PayPal, dancassetta@gmail.com, spell my name right. You could also use Square Cash, which is a new app that I have been forced to use by the likes of Justin Donald and Michael Cassetta. But we'll do it anyway, and we'll see how it works. You could use Venmo if you really have to. I prefer not to have the money go to multiple spots, but PayPal or Square Cash would be great. Please do not mention anything about a pool or about March Madness with your PayPal payment. And please select the sending money to friends and family choice on PayPal so that I get the full $40. Right? If I only get 95% of the money because you chose paying for goods and services, then if you win, I will only send you back 95% of what you are owed. By the way, there's a few things you should know before you enter our pool. This is especially for those of you who are prospective first-time entrants. Number one, I will enter myself and Phoebe for free in the pool. This is for all my time spent administering the pool, dealing with deadbeat losers, and recording hilarious YouTube videos after every round. If you object to that, please feel free to have your own pool. Another thing you should know is that if you enter, you will be subject to severe verbal abuse if your picks are lame. If you can't take that, you really should not enter. Unlike too many college campuses these days, we are not striving to create a safe space here. There will be name calling. There may be insults. It should feel a little bit at times like watching a presidential debate. You will get love, by the way, extra love in the videos if you send me a college hat. Yes, any hat, any school would be appreciated. Love to have a collection of college hats that I can sport during some of these videos. The third thing that you should know is that it's not necessary for you to have watched any basketball games this year in order to have a chance to win the pool. We have had people win not once, but twice who know nothing about college basketball. People like Mike Schmid with pure guesses, and Rebecca Flowers picking teams based on cute team colors. Unfortunately for Rebecca, UCLA is not in this year. I even made a random bracket one year where I picked games based on flipping coins and based on which mascot was more fierce. And that bracket actually finished in 6th place overall in the entire pool. So you don't need to do any. You don't need to know anything in order to have a chance. Just send your $40 and get in for the fun. I do have a little bit of commentary on the brackets, and since this is my pool, I reserve that right to do so. I need to change hats for my commentary on the brackets because I need to wear Michigan State in honor of Jeff Bry and Jason Flynn and Chris Heigl, perennial Michigan State pickers who choose the Spartans to win it all every single year, which turns out to be pretty good considering they make the Final Four almost all the time. Of course, Michigan State should probably be a number 1 seed right now. I like Oregon, I like Virginia, they're solid. But Michigan State beat Kansas, beat Louisville, won their last 9 games in a row. They're hot. They're ranked number 2 in the nation overall. They got Izzo. I don't know what else there is to say. Spartans should probably be a number 1 seed. Villanova also got screwed by being placed in Kansas's bracket. Based on the committee's S-curve formula, that would mean Villanova was the 8th best team in the country and behind Xavier, which makes no sense whatsoever. How is Xavier not in Kansas's bracket? Probably the reason why is that if Villanova was in North Carolina's bracket, they'd be slated to play the regional final in Philadelphia, and the committee probably did not want to subject North Carolina to basically playing at Villanova, because we know how the committee loves North Carolina and loves Duke every year. Evidently, they also hate Kentucky, because Kentucky gets underseeded every single year. How are they a number 4 when Texas A&M gets a number 3? Those two teams played today, and Kentucky won, clearly superior, and yet very strange that they got a 4 seed. Vegas doesn't agree. Kentucky is the 6th choice in Vegas to win the entire tournament. Another thing I'm scratching my head about is Wichita State being the last team selected into the field, which evidently they are. Wichita State was 21-3 with their entire starting lineup intact, and they have the same odds to win the championship as number 6 seeds like Seton Hall, Notre Dame, and Texas. They're at 80-1 to win the entire championship. Syracuse, who's seated above Wichita State, is 300-1. Temple is 500-1. So we all can tell, everyone knows how good Wichita State is, and certainly should have been seated a little bit higher than they were. Finally, how did Tulsa get in the tournament? This team lost to South Carolina, a bubble team who didn't get in. This team lost to Arkansas Little Rock. This team lost to Oral Roberts. This team lost twice in the last week to Memphis, who sucks. Tulsa was 20-11, not deserving being in this NCAA field. Regardless, by the way, of the terrible job the committee did picking and seeding the teams this year, what we all know is that the games will be fun, the drama will be high, we'll have a lot of fun watching. Enjoy the tournament, everyone. Pay your $40, get your entry in. Message me on Facebook if you need more info on how to get into the pool, and we'll look forward to having a record number of entries once again this year and a lot of fun watching all the games. I'll be back at you after the first round. See ya.